Hi everyone. So here I would like to give you some guidance on the about the preparation regarding the NEET, especially physics. So what are all the important chapters from physics for the NEET? So it will I feel like it will help you so that you can focus more on those particular chapters. And according to me, with all my experience, so I am guessing like around 30 plus questions can come from these chapters. So just try to focus more on this. I'm not telling that don't study the other chapters, but try to focus bit more on these chapters. So I made a list of 15 chapters. So here is the list of 15 chapters. I will share this list also later with you. Now the very first chapter is units and measurement. So here the question can be asked based on how to find the unit of particular unit or dimension of a particular quantity, or based on the error analysis. And the next question is motion in one dimension. So this is one of the important chapter, because in other chapters also you will get these relations. So you need to understand these things, this chapter very thoroughly, because same thing may come in laws of motion, same thing will come in electrostatic, same thing will come in another chapter. Like that, this application will be utilized like uniformly accelerated motion. We use in many other concepts or topics. Now the next thing is motion in a plane. So when you consider the motion in a plane, so the question can be asked based on uniform circular motion, or the question can be asked based on the projectile motion. And the next question is work, energy and power. So here the question can be asked based on work done by a constant force or variable force, or the question can be asked based on the application of work energy theorem, or conservation of mechanical energy. And also the probability is there, like the question can be asked based on power. And then center of mass and collisions, every time they used to give one question from collision, like elastic one dimensional head on collision, one dimensional collision, perfectly elastic collision or perfectly inelastic collision, what are the conditions and all. And mostly they try to ask question based on motion of center of mass or shift in the position of center of mass also. And after that, the question can also be asked based on rotation and rolling motion. See, the question can be asked based on pure rotation of a body about a fixed axis, or the question can be asked based on the rolling motion, like rolling down an inclined plane, maybe ring, disc, sphere, cylinder, anything. Their speed, acceleration, and time taken to reach the bottom. And then comes viscosity and surface tension. So every time they used to ask question based on these things, like surface energy or excess pressure or capillary rise or terminal velocity. So these things you try to focus and try to remember the formulas. And then comes heat and thermodynamics. So in heat and thermodynamics, first thing you have to focus mainly on thermal expansion of solids. Next you have to focus on heat radiation, and next you have to focus on thermodynamical process. Next you have to focus on KTG, what we call it as law of degree of law of equipartition of energy, or degree of freedom, kinetic interpretation of temperature. So these things based on, and also speed distribution of gas molecules, based on these things the questions can come. Now the next thing is, these are all the chapters which I included from class 11. So now let's see few topics from the class 12. The very first thing is electric potential and capacitance. So they many times they asked questions based on electric potential and capacitance. At least they try to give two questions. So just try to focus like based on equipotential surface, based on potential due to a point charge and various continuous distribution, and the series and parallel combination of capacitors or effect of dielectric on the capacitors. All those things try to concentrate. And then current electricity. So this is also one of the very important chapter. Even sometimes they will give three questions also. So current electricity like Ohm's law and meter bridge and potentiometer, or sometimes they will also ask question based on the Kirchhoff's laws. So try to focus more on this chapter. And then comes electromagnetic induction. So electromagnetic induction like Faraday's law and Lenz law or motional EMF, or basically they used to ask question based on self inductance and mutual inductance. So concentrate on these things. And after that, optics. In optics they used to ask question mainly based on lens or prism or optical instruments or interference. I mean Young's double slit experiment or else polarization. These things usually they will ask most, but still you try to focus because from optics sometimes they may give 4-5 questions also sometimes. So try to focus more on optics, complete optics, ray optics as well as wave optics. And the next thing is dual nature of radiation and matter. So here, even though it is very small chapter, most of the time they will give two questions. One is based on photoelectric effect and another one is based on the de Broglie hypothesis. And afterwards, atoms and nuclei. So atoms, so they can ask question based on hydrogen spectrum, or they can ask question based on postulates of Bohr, or they can ask question based on Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. From nuclei they can ask question based on binding energy, or they can ask question based on fission and fusion reactions, or they can ask question based on the radioactivity, law of radioactivity, half-life and all. Also the last and final thing they will ask the questions based on the most important thing is semiconductor devices and electronics and devices, where the question can be asked based on diode first, the first probability. Then there is a chance that they can ask question based on transistor as an amplifier, CE mode and CB mode. What is current amplification, voltage amplification, or voltage gain or power gain, all those things. And the most important thing is digital logic, digital electronics means logic gates. Every time they will ask at least one question from the logic gates. So these are all the chapters which I feel more important, means you have to focus more, and parallelly you can remember the formula of each and every other chapter also, so that lot of questions we can expect in entrance, NEET entrance, like formula based question. So that's why I suggest you to remember each and every formula from each chapter, but these 15 chapters I feel like you can concentrate more so that you will get benefit of it. So this is what I want to share with you. So just have a priority wise preparation and give more focus on these chapters. I wish you all the best. Thank you all of you.